Hi, welcome. So one of my new followers has reached out to me and said that her healthcare practitioner has told her to slow down a little bit, to do some movement that is a bit more focused on reducing inflammation, calming down her nervous system. So we're going to do a little 20-minute practice to help do that using a little bit of movement, but mostly restorative yoga. So we're actually going to start with breath work. Now, how you sit for your breath work is up to you. There are some slightly better ways to sit though. What we want to do is try and have a nice tall spine. So a really easy way to do that is actually to raise the level of the pelvis. You can do this using pillows or blankets. I'm just going to use a bolster here as a demonstrator. You can see here that I've got a little stack of blankets, so you could use that instead, and you can control the height a bit easier that way as well. If you prefer to sit with a cross leg or extended legs, then just sitting straight up onto your support is the best way. You can see you get a nice tall spine here. If you are quite happy kneeling, then you might actually enjoy straddling the bolster instead. And what this does is it fully supports your pelvis from the underside, so it's really good for breath work. It helps to get, again, that nice tall spine here. If you find, like me, I have some knee issues, so if it feels a little bit too low, you just pop a bit more height in, and then you can see you get this nice tall spine. Easy breath movement all around the rib cage. So the first bit of breath work that we're going to be doing is bumblebee breath. Let's turn myself back round to face you. So bumblebee breath is also known as bee breath, it's known as humming bee breath, and it is humming. It's really nice and straightforward. You're going to take an easy, comfortable breath in, and then on your exhale, you just hum. There's no need to lengthen your exhales. You don't want to put any stress or any force on the breath. If any of it feels like effort, then you're probably trying too hard. Try less. So we can do this together. I'm just going to keep humming. I'm going to do this for 3 rounds. If you really like it, then you can pause this video. You can do as many rounds as you want to before coming back again. So comfortable place for the hands, softness in your shoulders. You can close your eyes if you want. And then nice, easy, comfortable breath in, humming on the exhale. Breathing out. Notice how you feel. Perhaps you find that everything feels like it's slowed down a little bit or calmed down a little bit. The really good thing about humming is that it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, so this is your rest and digest state. It runs, when you hum, your vocal cords run alongside your vagus nerve. And so the humming helps to activate your vagus nerve, and this is part of your parasympathetic nervous system. So it helps to enact that idea of this slowing down, the relaxation, the softness, the knowledge that there's nothing that you really need to be doing. Not only that, but by humming, you are unintentionally lengthening your exhales. When we exhale, our pulse slows down, So again, it's feeding that like positive loop of getting your parasympathetic nervous system active. As well, you might have noticed that it's quite hard to think about other things when you hum. You tend to just think about the humming and nothing else. So it can be a really nice way to help your brain to slow down as well as your body. So next thing that we're going to do is just a little bit of gentle movement. You can stay kneeling if that feels comfortable, or you can head back to like a comfy seat. That's what I'm going to do. So any kind of comfy seat, it really doesn't matter what it looks like. And you're going to start to close your eyes again, just settling your body in. Start to notice how your body is feeling today. And the next time that you exhale, bring your chin down onto your chest. Staying tall through your body, allowing all the movement to come from your head and your neck. And then if it feels nice, start to sway your head from side to side. The range of movement is up to you. So you could go around in a full circle if that feels nice. Or you can keep the movements quite small. If you notice that there are aches in a particular place, you might like to just pause at that angle, invite softness into the shoulders, easy, comfortable breaths. See if you can just let that tightness release over the course of a couple of breaths. And then starting to bring your chin back onto your chest. You can lift the head slightly as you start to roll your shoulders forwards. You can just do the shoulders, or if it feels good, you can bring the elbows in as well. If you've got enough room and it feels nice, the hands can follow as well. You can do big full circles with the whole arms. And then we're going to go backwards, either using the arms or just the elbows or just the shoulders. Good, then relax those shoulders down. Arms come down by your sides. Inhale to sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring them back down by your sides. So just keep going with your breath. Inhaling, feeling tall through the spine, reaching through your fingers. Exhale, releasing down, softness in the shoulders. Inhaling to sweep up. You can look up towards your hands if that feels good. And then bring them down. And we'll go one more time. Lovely. We'll do some seated cat-cows. If you're still kneeling onto your bolster, you might want to switch and come to more of a seated position. This is just because the kneeling version holds your pelvis so well, it can be a little bit difficult to actually rock backwards and forwards. So I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. As you inhale, you're going to lift the chest, lift the gaze, slight arch in your spine. Exhale to round down, belly button tucks in, chin drops down. Inhaling to lift and exhaling to round. So again, just moving with your breath. You can bring the arms in as well if you want to. So as you inhale, you can take the arms wide. Exhale, rounding forwards, palms come towards each other. Inhaling to lift and open. Exhale, rounding forwards. You could give yourself a hug as well if that feels nice instead of the palms meeting. We'll do two more. Just one final one, because why not? And then at the end of your next exhale, you can just release the hands down, keep the chin tucking in, and then roll your way up through the spine, coming up to seated. So now we're going to transition into our restorative poses. Now, if you really like these, you can stay in them for much longer than I'm about to have you in them for. Restorative poses, you stay for as long as you're comfortable. This can be anywhere from, the shortest really that you want to do them is like 3 minutes. But I would suggest even taking them up to 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if you really enjoy it and the body feels great. So for this one, you can have a blanket under your head, or you can have a bolster or a pillow, whatever feels comfy. You don't need to be on a yoga mat for any of this. You could be on your bed, that might feel really nice. So I'm going to show you with blankets here. Again, you could use pillows, you could use bolsters. The trick is to have a few options, because depending on your body is going to depend on the height of props that you need. So for this one, have all your props, let's start off, all the props are on your left hand side, and then you're going to come to lie down, both legs extended to begin with. Then you're going to bend your left knee and bring your foot to the floor. You want this foot to be fairly close in towards your straight leg. Then you're just going to let the whole leg flop out to the side. Now you can immediately see that I've put my blankets in slightly the wrong place. So I'm going to lift my knee, shuffle the blankets down. You want your leg to be nice and supported here. There shouldn't be any stretch on the inside of the thigh. This should be able to relax completely. So if it's not high enough, just grab another pillow, grab some extra blankets, bring it in. The knee can be all the way up so it's almost vertical. Really just see what feels comfortable. And then we are going to stay here for the next minute and a half. So like I say, if you're enjoying it, you can pause the video, you can stay for longer. This is just like a little snippet of what you can get. So as you lie here, you can start to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Your hands could be resting onto your body, or they could come out to the sides for a feeling of spaciousness. You might like to take a moment just to notice how your breathing feels in this pose. If you'd like to be more aware of the breath, the hands could rest onto your low ribs. So there's still no force, no stress on your breath. Each inhale and exhale wants to feel easy and comfortable. This pose has a few different ways that it can be named. I tend to call it supine tree pose, so Supta Vrikshasana. It is a sort of supine version of Janu Shirshasana as well, although Janu Shirshasana literally translates as head to knee pose. So although the leg setup is similar, the body setup is completely different, so the name doesn't really fit anymore. When you're ready, start to stretch your left leg along the ground. Just taking a moment to notice if there's any real difference between your left and right sides. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. And then disturbing yourself as little as possible
you're going to move all your bits over to the right hand side. So you could just gently roll your way over to one side. Or if you can do it all and stay lying down, you can do that as well. Just popping your blankets, your bolsters over to the other side. So once you've done that, legs extended again. This time bend the right knee, foot to the floor, foot comes in close to the leg, and then your knee is going to drop out to the side. Move those blankets around so that the leg is nice and supported. Just be aware that your hips might be quite different. There might be a lot more range of movement in one than the other. You don't need to do the same on both sides. You want both sides to feel relaxed and supported. So if this leg needs a bit more height than the other one did, shove something else in there. Don't feel like you have to do exactly the same. Hand position again is up to you. It could rest on the body, they could come out to the sides. If you're a big fan of bringing the hands over the head, you could do that as well. Just make sure that the whole of your arm is supported by the ground. If you find that your hands are dangling, then keep the arms further down. So just settling in, you can close your eyes or soften your gaze again on this side. Just take a moment to see if you can bring some softness, particularly into your right leg and around your right hip. Know that that right leg is fully supported by all of the props you've put in there. You might like to take your awareness up to your jaw, unclenching your teeth, maybe allowing your lips and teeth to part slightly. Your tongue can rest into the base of your mouth. Softness in your jaw that moves up through your face, into your cheeks and across the bridge of your nose, into all the tiny muscles around your eyes. Softness in your forehead and eyebrows. And if it feels a little bit hard to release the tension across your forehead, just give your eyebrows a gentle wiggle. You could do a little scrunch of your face and a little surprised expression, and then just let everything release and relax. So your whole face feels soft. Don't forget to keep your breathing easy and comfortable. The whole idea of your restorative practice is that there is no force or strain anywhere. And then when you're ready, you're going to start stretching your right leg away from you. Again, just noticing if there's any difference in sensation on the left and right sides. You might like to then hug your knees into your chest for a moment. And when you're ready, rolling over to one side and pressing yourself up to sitting. The next pose that we're going to do is going to be on our tummies as opposed to on our backs. Now, there's a couple of options for this one. If you have nice open hips and you are really comfortable being on your tummy, you can do this with almost no props at all. You can have just a blanket or a pillow under your head, and then you'll come onto your belly The arms can come up underneath to support your head if that feels good. And then you're going to take one leg and bend the knee and bring it up out to the side. So this leg here is now at about 90-degree angle. If it feels tight through this bent leg, what you do is send your foot down towards the end of your mat. So you're not bringing the foot in, you're keeping that shin parallel with your straight leg and just sending the foot down. And that'll create a little bit more space through the inside of this leg here. If you are on a yoga mat and not on a bed or something, it might feel a little bit hard under the inside of the knee here. You can just pop a little blanket under there. If this feels like a huge stretch for you, don't worry. Grab your bolster or grab a couple of blankets, again, a couple of pillows. All of this is completely interchangeable. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to lie onto this. So you might need a bit more support under your head as well. So just your body is going to be on this, but the leg can hang off the end. So you can bring it in like this, and then the leg comes out from there, and you might be able to see that because my pelvis is lifted, the leg comes in at more of an angle here, so it's not as far up and out. There's not as much opening through that hip, and that'll just give you a little bit more comfort. So pick whichever variation that you would like. I'm going to go without the bolster. And then again, we're going to do just a minute and a half here. If you're enjoying it and you want to stay, then you can just pause the video and stay for a little bit longer. In the meantime, closing your eyes, softening your gaze. Allowing your body to soften into the support beneath you. You might be more aware of your breath in this pose. Sometimes when we lie on our tummies, the movement of our bodies with our breath becomes more apparent. This is just because as we inhale, the chest can't expand outwards, so naturally the body lifts up and away from the ground to create space. Each time that you exhale, feel softness coming into your body. Know that you're fully supported exactly where you are. Your body can relax and release into that support. Good. Then taking your time, start to stretch that leg away from you, down your mat. You might even like to bend the knees, bring the feet into the air and just give them a little wave side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch to the other side. So you don't really need to move for this one, which is quite nice. You just keep that leg extended and then bend the other knee up and out to the side and relax down again. So head goes generally in the same direction as your knee. I'm just going to switch around for the purposes of the video. So nice and comfy. If you do need support on this side, if you need that bolster under your body, then by all means pop it in. Again, you don't need to do the same thing on both sides. If your shoulders and arms don't like being up around your face, they can come down by the sides. You could take it into the low back. You could just rest in front like this. Just whatever feels comfortable. So this pose is known as half frog. Full frog is where both legs are in this position. It's not a restorative pose. You probably could just about make it restorative with a lot of props, or if you are very, very flexible through your hips. But generally frog is more of a yin pose where we work into the connective tissues. So nice, easy, comfortable breaths here. Feel that gentle movement of your body with each inhale and exhale. Knowing that there's nowhere else you need to be. Nothing else that you need to be doing. And then start to stretch the leg away from you. You can stretch the legs out or bend the knees, bring the feet into the air, have a little wave side to side. And then however feels best for you, bring yourself back up to sitting, taking all the time you need. So our final pose is a version of Shavasana. I'm going to use bolsters to demonstrate, but you can just as easily use pillows or rolled up blankets. You want a bigger, well, one big support and one small support. The big one will go under your knees, the smaller one's going to go under the backs of your ankles. So you can have a blanket or a pillow under your head. Don't worry too much about setting yourself up before you lie down. The chances are that you'll have to move it all as soon as you've laid down. So just put them roughly in the right place, and then as you come down you can readjust. Big bolster under knees, little bolster under ankles. So once you've come in, you can have the feet fairly close together if that feels nice, or you can walk the legs out a little bit further depending on the width of your support. Hands can rest onto your body, or they can come out to the sides, or again, as long as they are fully supported, they can come up overhead. So just picking what feels best for you. If you've got like a blanket as well, it might feel nice to have a blanket over the top of you. And then just start to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Each time that you exhale, see if you can allow your body to surrender into the support beneath you. And there's nowhere else that you need to be. Nothing else you need to be doing. The rest of the world can wait for this time for you to rest. Sometimes restorative yoga can feel difficult because it feels like as soon as your body starts to relax, your mind might become busy. And if you find this happening, I have quite a nice relaxation technique that I like to use. So start to picture yourself on an island in the middle of a stream. And the stream, if you wanted to walk through it, is only ankle deep. You can see straight through the clear water to the bed of the stream. It's covered in rocks and tiny plants. You even see a few little fish swimming along with the current. The stream is so shallow that you can hear the sound of it tripping over the stones. As you lie on your island, it's just big enough for you to comfortably stretch out your fingers and just touch where the water is. Just feeling the gentle coolness of the water on your fingertips. You take a moment to notice how the ground feels beneath you. Is it soft and grassy? Perhaps it's sandy or pebbly. Maybe you can feel the warmth coming from the ground beneath you. On the surface of the stream, you start to notice hundreds of leaves. And the leaves can look however you want them to. They might be green or reds or oranges or yellows. Imagine the shape of them as well. And each of these leaves represents one of your thoughts. So each time that you notice that your attention has been taken by one of your thoughts, acknowledge it, don't worry about it. Turn the thought into a leaf and release it onto the river. Watch the gentle current carry the leaf away from you and allow your awareness to settle back into your body. You might do this once or twice. You might do it hundreds of times across the course of your practice. And that's absolutely fine. There's no limit. Each time that you release a thought, you're practicing the ability to keep your awareness in your body, in your space, and releasing anything else that doesn't matter right now. So I'm going to leave you here in your Shavasana,
Just allow yourself to be here, to be present, and to enjoy the remainder of your practice. Thank you for spending it with me.